here's another thing that you can try, kind of going with the eyelids. Go ahead and hold out your hands in front of you, and clasp them together, leaving your index fingers. I want you to separate your index fingers, just like that. Go ahead and tilt them up a little bit. I want you to look at the space right here. Just look at that space. Now what's funny is, in just a moment, you're going to start to feel like there's some magnets at the tips of your fingers, just drawing them in together. And I don't know if you've ever played this game when you were younger, but somebody would go like this and your fingers would come together. That's exactly what's happening right now. And you can find that you can try and keep them apart, but the more you try and keep them apart, the harder it gets. The more you try and keep them apart, the harder it gets. It's like the more you stare there in the center, the stronger that magnetic pull gets, the stronger that magnetic pull gets. So the more you try and keep them apart, the more you try and keep them apart, the stronger it gets, the stronger it gets. It's gonna be really, really interesting, because pretty soon they're gonna meet, and when they meet, it's like your whole hand just begins to fuse together. Pretty soon, and of course you're trying to separate them, right? You're trying to separate them. It's getting harder and harder and harder. It just keeps getting harder and harder and harder and harder and harder. That's right. And so they fuse together, and it's like your whole hand just fuses together, right? Fuses together. And it's not just like a magnet anymore. It's like glue. It's like glue, just pushing your hands together. And like clasp those hands together, clasp those hands together. And it's like there's glue. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my hands on to the sides of your hands. And when I do that, you're going to feel this glue just begin to bind those hands together. Just binding those hands together. They're tight together. And when I move my hands away, you're going to try and pull your hands apart. You're going to find the more you try and pull your hands apart, the more stuck they're going to get. So go ahead and try and separate those hands. Trying to separate those hands, and the more you try, the more stuck they get. The more you try, the more stuck they get. You're a strong person, but you can feel how hard it is, can't you? That's funny. And when I tap your fingers, they're going to go ahead and come right apart. Alright, so now here's what I want you to do.